Let's take a look at how to optimize your marketing campaigns using our ReEngaged Lead ROI attribution model. This model works for some e-commerce brands and for others it doesn't. And for people doing multi-step funnels where you have to book an appointment after you become a lead, this attribution model is gold. So it depends. Or if you're doing any free trials to your membership or course or whatnot, and it's someone who's already become a lead, then this can help be the missing piece in your marketing funnel. I'm going to look at this today from an e-commerce brand, but I'm also going to make a few points if you're in one of those other buckets. So for e-commerce, the rules for this attribution model are very important. We only look at people that are already on your list. And did they submit their email address for some other reason after they already were created in your CRM? This particular advertiser uses Klaviyo. So these are all Klaviyo leads. And he also uses Infusionsoft, actually. So in both CRMs, if you're already a lead in either one of them, and then we see an email address submitted after that create date from those CRMs, then you're a ReEngaged lead. You can get to this by using, ReEngaged Lead. You'll see ReOptin there, meaning re-opted in for an email of some kind. And then the only field we're looking at here, we are looking at ad spend, but then the ReEngaged leads field. If any of these people have bought after this re-engagement, then they show up here, and then they show up in the revenue column. And it's only the last re-opt-in. So if they re-opt-in a bunch of times, if for some reason you have that funnel, it would be the last one before the sale that gets the credit. So you'll notice this is an e-commerce brand, a lot of unattributed revenue because it doesn't always happen. But where it does happen, it's worth noting because it may be that campaign you want to exclude cold traffic and only include your email list and don't include customers and have a really precise targeting because you know something that gets people to take this interim funnel step. Works particularly well in e-com brands. If you have a lot of dead leads or new leads have been on there for a long time that haven't converted, throw them something that's going to make them opt back in, because if you see this spike, then you know you got an inkling to what's going to work in the middle of the funnel on the leads that are otherwise just sleeping. So when I scroll down here, I see a lot of negatives, so that's fine. The optimization process is very different for this model. I'm not saying, oh, this negative ROI, cut the ad spend, because it's only for this precise area. What I'm going to do is look down and see it just if there's any positives, because it might be interesting. So 13% on search brand, we're going to ignore its brand. But here's one, display remarketing sales. So this one's working out nice. Out of 938 clicks, you got 19 re-engaged leads and 15 total sales. That's pretty solid. And that's a 300% ROI. So I would up the spend here because you see how well things normally don't work here, that when it does, it's pretty eye-opening and you should spend more. Furthermore, we can scroll over and see, okay, 9 repeat customers made up those 15 sales. So it's all repeat customers. So target your customer list only, which it may already do, and spend more on them because this one is working to help drive sales. So that's a pretty cool, perfect example of how to use this to optimize right there. Now, if you scroll down, so our default sort is by cost, but then if we get down here are emails. That's where you're going to see a lot more of this. Look at all these re-engaged leads. And so here we're looking at, well, for re-engaged leads, an email that re-engaged them but didn't close them would be something like opt in and get this deal. I'm not only giving this coupon code to certain people. Tactics like that can work well. As we can see here, it's sometimes driving a fair amount of revenue. These are his names of his campaigns. He names them by the day of the week. That's one way to do it. So the weekend one has worked out quite well. The weekend for email sends, you wouldn't think would work, but it's working on his list to get people to resubmit their email and eventually become customers. So that's an eye-opener. So when you have your leads, they come in, they go through your buy funnel that you want them to do as an e-com brand, and then they don't. Send them an email on the weekend saying, hey, let me give you a special deal since we haven't found anything that's worked for you. And then have an automated email that sends them an email code. It's worked here. Maybe it'll work for you. So for this one positive ROI campaign, I'm going to go use the Campaign Explorer and see if I can optimize it further. Are there certain pockets that are working? Well, yep. Okay. All converters. This is one of from our new Google audience integration. This is the name of the audience, all converters. And so he has an ad set, all converters 180 days, an audience, all converters, spent $290, made $1480, 410%. That's pretty nice. Then spent $240 on the user's 7-day. It got 7. It didn't work quite as well. And then here's one from Outlook Live, which happened prior to this. So when there's no ad spend, it usually means that person bought now, but the re-engagement click occurred in the time frame prior to the report. So in this case, this person re-opted in earlier than a month ago, and now they've bought. So a long delay. And look at this. So we used to have this boom user list. Now we actually know the names of the lists. But if this is a 2020 or earlier, we didn't know the name of this list. Now we know how to look it up and tell you who it exactly is. So boom user list, if you go to your audiences and you look up that ID, it's likely to be one of these list names. And this one's contributed another 5 sales, but they were all delayed. They happened prior. So maybe turn some ad spend back on there. Maybe not. You got to look at the ad spend and see from the prior period. But here is a, 290, 1480. So optimize it even further. Segment these all converters out and double or triple the ad spend. See if you can hold up that 400%. So I hope this has helped you use the ReEngaged Lead Attribution model for specific optimizations to scale some ad spend in areas you normally wouldn't consider with an e-com. Or if you're doing call schedule, call booking, appointments, things like that, this is a great one because you want to see what made the new leads resubmit for more information that eventually led to customers. Thank you.